Welcome to today's webinar, Kick It Up a Notch, Turn Your QR Codes into MAXcodes, the latest in an ongoing series of educational webinars from WindowBook. My name is Wallace Vinglas, and I'm Vice President here at WindowBook. We are also very pleased to have Doug Boehmer here as our special guest presenter. Doug Boehmer is the CEO of the Technicom Group, one of the Detroit area's premier direct mail letter shop facilities. He has been involved in the direct mail industry for over 30 years and has extensive experience in all facets of the direct mail process. He is also acting as executive consultant to MAXcodes and is involved in all aspects of marketing and development of this exciting new technology. Today's webinar will discuss how MAXcodes can greatly increase the power of an ordinary QR code and how you can use MAXcodes to drive better marketing campaigns. Now, let's begin. We know you have all been hearing a lot about QR codes and the USPS Mobile Barcode Promotion. In fact, I can look through our attendee list today and see a lot of names who have already attended one of our QR code webinars. Today, though, you're going to learn about how you can boost the power of a QR code and turn it into a MAXcode. As I said earlier, we're very excited to have Doug Boehmer of QR2DMAX and Technicom with us today. WindowBook is also very excited about the brand new business relationship we have with both of those organizations. Doug is going to talk to you or review to you today what a QR code is and how they're being used. But the main focus of today's webinar will be Doug explaining what a MAXcode is, the different types of MAXcodes available to you, and how MAXcodes are better than ordinary QR codes. Having said all that, it is now my great pleasure to turn things over to Doug Boehmer of QR2DMAX. Good afternoon, Doug.
Good afternoon, Wallace, and thanks for that introduction, and welcome everyone to our presentation on MAXcodes, maximum QR code power. The first thing we want to talk about is what we're going to be doing today. Okay, first thing we're going to talk about is our direct mail goals. I assume that all of us are involved somewhat or have been involved in the direct mail industry, most of us anyway. And we'll talk about direct mail goals as they relate to MAXcodes. We'll talk about what QR codes are and a little bit of background on those. We'll talk about MAXcodes, of course, and why they're better and what they are. There are two types of MAXcodes. We'll explain those. We'll tell you about MAXcode Central and the way you control and order and make them work. We will talk about mobile marketing applications and how you can make those more effective for yourself. We'll show you some data on market growth and who's using QR codes generally, and it's pretty stunning what's been happening in the QR code market. We'll give you practical examples of how people are using QR codes, and of course everything that we show you about QR codes will only be better if you're using MAXcodes. And we will show you how to avoid mistakes when creating a mobile website, and since we want you to buy these, we'll show you how to order them, and we'll tell you about some of our additional services that we offer. First of all, we all have one big question. Everybody in marketing has one big question. Is anyone looking at my message, and if so, who is it? That's a question we've had forever in the direct mail category, and it's something we've been trying to figure out for years. In the past, we would deliver a message, we would gauge the response whenever possible, and it wasn't always possible, of course, because we had very rough tools such as coupons or 800 numbers or things like that that didn't tell you much about people. So you had very little statistical data available from the responses you generated. There was very little you could tell. I mean, you could tell perhaps how many coupons you got back, but that never told you how many people actually read the message. In the future, you'll deliver a message with unlimited information. A QR code and a MAXcode represents a window to the internet on a postcard, for example. So the unlimited aspect of the internet is deliverable on a postcard or a piece of mail. You'll know when and where the message was received. You'll know specifically who responded to the message, and you'll be able to gather data, marketing data, to aggregate marketing data to grow your market and to continue to test more and increase your response. Let's begin with what is a QR code. Probably everybody knows this, or you've been in other seminars that have shown you this, but QR codes are a two-dimensional symbology. It's a product of the barcode and the stack barcode, which you see as the first two symbols at the bottom there. It was developed by Denso Wave Corporation and released in 1994. The aim was to be readily read by scanner equipment, and the primary use at the time was to track vehicle parts. What has happened is that QR codes have become ubiquitous. In Japan, they're everywhere. They're in wide use in Europe, have been for a while, and they're just starting to make their way into the United States, as evidenced by the fact that they're coming on our radar screen and we're figuring out what they are. What is a MAXcode? We'll show you how a MAXcode is different. First of all, it's a very powerful marketing tool. It incorporates functions that make it perfect for the marketing environment.